So welcome to the American Road Trip. I'll be doing some test driving this Nissan, the 2018 Nissan Murano SL, and talking about how it handles, how it drives. Today we are on our way to Eugene, Oregon, doing a trip from Los Angeles to Eugene, visiting some family. So this really isn't a big sightseeing trip. It's just a short road trip. Well, it's 14 hours anyway, driving, but just kind of a straight up and coming back. So driving this car, it actually feels, the seat's actually comfortable. There's a different places you can put it. You can, forward and back, of course. You can also tilt it. So, you tilt it so your legs go up or down a little bit, and then you can recline it just to get just right. And the seat seems pretty comfortable. It feels like I'm a driver in a driver's car, really. It feels like it's surrounding me and making me feel pretty comfortable, and giving me some good experience in the driving experience, right? We are in Castaic. We're basically at the top of the mountain, and there's some snow up there. Gotta go a little further, probably another 1,000 feet, maybe not quite 1,000, but that's where the snow line is. See back here the freeway, and it was snowing. There is some snow in the parking lot, just tiny bit. Not really much to speak of, but there it is. Pretty cool. Here's something interesting. Flying J is closed and it's remodeling. There it is. It is remodeling. Well, I gotta tell you, this was usually my restroom stop. That's right, my restroom stop. Apparently I haven't been up here in a while, and it's remodeling. How about that? The steering wheel is tilting, and it's also telescopic, so I'm able to pull it out a little bit. I'm kind of tall, and I I have a far reach here, so I like to bring up the steering wheel a little bit closer, and it feels pretty good. It feels good. The steering wheel is comfortable. It's leather. It's not the softest leather, but it's it's typical leather steering wheel. Have your controls here for the radio. Also have controls for the center screen. And that's kind of nice. You just have to push the arrow buttons. Right now I'm looking at the driver computer, so it tells me the miles that I have available. It tells me what the miles I have available in the tank and how many miles I've been, average fuel mileage, and all that kind of good stuff. Pushing the left button, it'll take me to the compass as I'm going north. It shows me a car. So it looks like that's just the compass. Just the compass. A little bit further, it shows me the audio screen, so I can look at my audio screen here in the center without looking in the center stack. That's pretty nice. Push it again, then it shows me the compass again as well, with how fast I'm going. And so it has a digital speedometer along with the analog speedometer. So that's kind of nice. Pushing it again shows settings. Now if you push the OK button, you can go into the settings, and then there's driver's assistance, and you just push the OK button, and then you can see the different sensing that it has, which is blind spot, emergency brake, driver attention alert, timer alert. Okay, made it to just south of Fresno. That's usually where I do my first gas stop from LA, and the first place I saw was a Chevron for $3.49. Thinking, all right, might as well. Right next door is a 76 for $3.19. Right next door. So I said, okay, very good. In fact, you can see it. What I'm gonna do is put some gasoline in it, and we're gonna see what kind of gas mileage we're getting. We're gonna see. Right now, 8.8 miles, and I think I've gone about 220 miles, something like that, or 8.8 miles, 8.8 gallons. So I'm doing the 30-second test. Count 30 seconds, then see if it's full. All right, let's see what kind of gas mileage we're getting. Okay, I'm back in the car, and it looks like it took 8.9 gallons. And that 8.9 gallons took me 227.8 miles. So I usually don't figure the 0.9. So if I go 227, and we're going to divide that by 8.9, oh, get about 25 miles to the gallon. That's pretty good. Very good, actually. 25 miles to the gallon. And very interesting, as I put the gas in, the computer tells you what the new range is. Very exciting. That's phenomenal. 516 mile range. Woo-wee. That's pretty good. So you don't know how many gallons it's in the tank, but 516 miles, 25 miles a gallon, I guess that would do it. That's a pretty good range. I just want to talk about how I like to do this trip. I've done this one a lot. I like to do this trip in about 3-4 legs. I like to break it up just so it doesn't seem so long, where I do the fuel stops, take a break and stretch legs and that sort of thing. I start at Los Angeles, fill up the gas tank, and then I head, first stop really is Fresno, fill up. That's about 170 miles or so, and it's a good time to do a stretch and just kind of, do a stretch, do a little break, and then the next stop would be Sacramento. Now Sacramento is the longest leg. It's 200-something miles, and also a good time to stretch and look around and fill up with gas. And then the next one from Sacramento is Redding. And Sacramento to Redding is about the same length as maybe a little bit shorter actually from Los Angeles to Fresno. And then from Redding up to Eugene, that's also probably the longest leg. However, I do that in one stop, and usually that's the most scenic because it goes up the Siskiyou Mountains, and that's the most beautiful scenery of the whole trip. I mean, the whole trip. I mean, there's other deserts areas and other mountains. There's the Grapevine, which from just north of Los Angeles, but the Siskiyou Mountains is just beautiful. And then going over the Siskiyou Mountains while you're up there is when you cross the border into Oregon, and then it goes downhill into the valley, and then from there it's just like you're still in the mountains because it's Oregon. It's a whole lot of trees, a whole lot of green, and then you're in Oregon, and Oregon is like being in the mountains. It's just all kinds of trees, green green everywhere, and it rains all the time. In fact, it's raining now. Well, it's rained most of the trip. So that's my strategy to break up the trip, just so it doesn't seem so long. And because it's about 14 hours driving time, and that splits it up kind of nice. And it helps look forward to the next stop, so it doesn't seem quite so long, you know. I don't need to think, oh, 700 more miles. Well, no, it's actually maybe 100, 200 miles to the next stop. And then the next screen is a warning review. What does a warning review do? No items to review. Oh, okay, well, there's no items to review. I guess I'm not going to review it. Also shows tire pressure, driving aids, works with the your sensing, and the fuel economy. Shows your average miles per gallon, and what you're getting. Has a little bar there that shows you as you accelerate what kind of fuel mileage you're getting, and also as you decelerate. That's kind of nice. And then back to the trip computer, or what they call the drive computer. So that's nice. One thing I do like about the speedometer, or the gauges, is well, you've got the analog speedometer and you have the RPMs, but the fonts are very similar to BMW. I like that. It looks nice. It looks really neat. And very easy to read, and it's right there. It's all lit up in white. Pretty nice. Windshield wipers. You got intermediate, slow and fast, regular speed, automatic headlights. All pretty good. Now the center stack, this one's equipped with navigation, and it has your audio button, so you can look at the navigation or the audio depending on what you want to do. And you know, the standard stuff, you know, you program your radio stations where you want it, and automatic climate control, just punch in the temperature you want. So that's pretty nice. The leather feels pretty good. Has that nice leather smell. It's not like I don't know, it's not really a premium leather, but it's still a nice leather smell. This one also has, well, there's another button over there for trip. You can reset it. Also cruise control, obviously. This one has memory seats. And the sunroof is 2 sunroofs, and one is it's really long. It's really big. That's pretty neat. It has plenty of power. I still have to look under the hood. I don't even know what engine it has. If it's a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder. Pretty good power. It could be a 6, but you know, it might be a 4-cylinder. And cruising right along here at right around the speed limit. Really, it's got good power. I mean, I accelerate, and it goes, and it does it without any sweat. I'm cruising. Let's see, if the speed limit is around 70, I'm gonna go around 70. I mean, come on, 1500 RPM maybe. Holy smoke. Well, let's see, 80 miles per hour is about 1600 RPM. Woo. I mean, it's just a nice little cruiser. It's really nice. It's handling well. I can tell though it is front wheel drive. Sometimes, you know, front wheel drive cars have a different feel than a rear wheel drive, and you can really feel it. And this one some you can't as well, but this one you can feel it's front wheel drive. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I mean, you can tell. I mean, if you're ever in doubt, I can tell. That seems pretty good. It's a nice driver. I like it. Well, we're on the road again, or just about to get on the road. Just got out of the hotel. The hotel that's got a number on it for its name, and it's not Crazy 8 or whatever that was. There was an 8. There was an 8. Well, this wasn't the 8. So just filled up, and just you know, the gas station next to the hotel was $3.89 a gallon. This area has several gas stations, so I found one that was $3.19, not too far down the road. So it's okay to look around. Don't always have to get gas at the first place you see. And it's still a good gas station. So we're gonna gas. Well, we're already gassed up. Now we're gonna get down the road again, and we're gonna go up the mountain. It's raining here. I'm in Redding. It's raining. I don't know what it's like on the mountain, but I don't think it's gonna be too terrible. The car does have traction control, so if there is a little bit of snow, it should drive okay. And I'm pretty happy with this car so far. It's really nice. It's got all kinds of power, buco power. A couple things about the car that I noticed even driving at night. The cruise control, when you're driving it, there's a sensing setting on there that senses the car in front of you, so it automatically slows down. It's okay as long as you're staying in that lane. But if you're going to change lanes to go around the slower car, the car still catches that car in front of you and slows the car down, so as you're changing lanes and then you're slowing down. It's a little annoying. I just like to, if there's a car in front of me, I'm just going to change lanes where I don't have to slow down. But it works great if you're just in that same lane, you don't plan on going anywhere. It works really good, and you can control the setting. It's about 3 different settings that you can set it on, which is kind of, it does it easy, and then a little bit more that's, you know, it sees it a little bit quicker and responds a little bit quicker. There's also the lighting on the steering wheel. The buttons are in red. We can see the letters in red. The instruments are in white. Steering wheel is in red, and there's also lighting on the armrest, which is above the windows and the mirrors and door locks. So I thought that was kind of nice. And then the one other thing, it's not really a complaint, but it's kind of got to get around. But when you look over to your shoulder, or your right shoulder, look, there's the part of the car is designed where it kind of closes off the window. It's not a deal breaker. It's just a little bit to get used to. Visibility, that's the word I'm looking for. Visibility. Visibility is not the greatest, but it's still okay. I think most of the other car makes up for any kind of that. Now, another thing it has with the sound system is it has a Bose sound system. Now, usually Bose sounds really good. I really enjoy Bose sound systems. This one, you know what? It sounds okay. It's not really the best that I've heard. It's okay. I don't think you'll be disappointed, but for some reason it doesn't sound all that great. It doesn't really sound like, oh, that's a Bose system, but still sounds good. It gets loud, so loud it can do, so that's good. Yeah, it still sounds good. Pretty nice. I also got these cool guides from the motel. Trees of Mystery and Sky Trail. There's the Redding Trails and Waterfalls, and also Red Coast Mapping Guide. It goes to the Redwood Forest. That's pretty cool. I won't have time to go there today, but there's some pretty neat stuff here to see from Redding. One word of caution while driving through Redding and Mount Shasta, basically up to the border, especially on the upside or downside of approaching between Redding and basically the top of the hill, lots of highway patrol. They like to get you. I was just followed by one. I wasn't really followed, but I wasn't really paying too much attention, but I was still going around the speed limit, and he was right behind me. So this is an area that you just want to be cautious, you know, stay right around the speed limit. They'll leave you alone, but it's a bit heavy around here. I just stopped at Canyonville, and Canyonville is the home of Seven Feathers, which is an Indian casino. It's a good stop to do a little bit of a break, stretch the legs, and also this is a very historic town. There's an old town, looks like it has a main street, just like you know, in the 1880s. Has restaurants there, has a hotel, and so a pretty nice place. It's also a junction or another road that goes up to Crater Lake. So nice little spot, historic. And so anyway, stopped here, take a little break. We're going to keep on going, and the car's going good. It's going good. I haven't had any complaints. Also, I wanted to show you my setup. I've got a couple things going attached to the windshield. I've got a GPS, radar detector, which I don't need because I stay right around the speed limit. And I also have my phone. And this car comes with navigation, so last night I have my phone on Waze so I can kind of see some conditions from other drivers. So I had like 3 navigations going. I'm not really using them. I did use my phone, Waze, to get to the hotel. I also have a GoPro attached. I have a portable CB radio, they're all portable, a handheld CB radio, and just plugged into the trucker station and seeing if there's any kind of things going on the road that they might be talking about. Well, I'm driving through Southerlin, Oregon, and I lived on this town for a few years when I was a kid, and this is the first time that I've been back. It's very interesting it's gonna be interesting to see what I can see. I'm gonna head towards the house that I lived in and see what it looks like and see what kind of memories it can bring along. So far it doesn't look too familiar. It looks like a street. There's a few things that I remember seeing, but it's been a long time, so it's changed. I mean, there's a huge building right here. That building, I think that was the lumber building, but it's new since they've rebuilt it since I've been there. There's a main strip right here. It's all one street. Southerlin just has one main street, that's it. And I went through a older part where there was a movie theater that I went to. I didn't see the movie theater, so I think that's gone. See my school that I went to. Oh boy. I used to go to that store all the time. Up here is a street that I used to live on. I used to walk this area constantly. This is the way I would go to school. I'd play football in that yard right there. There it is. I used to live in that house right there. Wow. Yep, I can see there's a balcony in the back I used to play on. Still there. I'm sure the neighbors would be very excited to know that I'm videotaping. Yeah, that's it. Those two windows right there, those are both bedrooms. I've stayed in both of those bedrooms. Well, there's a car coming, I'll let him go. Yeah, pretty nice. Wow. There's a boat in the back. We didn't have a boat. I used to ride my bike on all these streets right here. And this is the way I went to school. There's this part of the field down there. This is going to be my school up here, both grade school and a junior high. No, it was a high school. Yeah, junior high and high school. Wow. Here's a field over here. I used to run track on that field, track and field. Yeah. And here's Southerlin Middle School. Wow. Here's the field again. And here's the high school. It's a small school, relatively small. It's the Bulldogs. You can see the Bulldogs sitting there. Yeah, pretty nice. Well, that was my high school. In middle school, well, actually, I didn't go to high school. I went there for like 1 year, maybe. That's Southerlin, Oregon. I just found the road. It's a small road that goes to the neighborhood Church of Christ. I went there as a kid, living here. So it's going to be interesting to see this for the first time in a while. And we're going to check this out. There it is. Wow. There it is. Well, it used to be white when I went there. And now it's a different color. Well, that would explain why sometimes I could see it off the road, sometimes off the freeway, but sometimes I can't. But that would explain it. Oh yeah, there's lights on. Looks like they're doing some construction in there. Huh. That was Southerlin, Oregon. First time I've been back here in a pretty long time. Long time. Not too long, but long time. Well, overall, I think this Murano is a pretty good darn car. It's a very good road trip car, actually. I've been very comfortable driving it, and went on a little bit of dirt and some potholes, and it handled it just fine. It felt like it was almost, well, I mean, it is an SUV, so I felt the SUV part of it, and it felt very good, very secure. And then on road, it drives like a car. The power is all there. Anytime I need power, it's got it. And any kind of passing power it's there. Any kind of going up the hills, when you really need it, it's the grades and that sort of thing. It's all there, and I think it's a very nice car. The design is unique, I think, and it doesn't look like all the other cars out there, and it does pretty good. It does really good, and I'm actually really excited about this one. I think it makes a great road trip car. Well, thanks for watching the American Road Trip. Join me next time, and we'll see you down the road.